Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Hopefully your day, afternoon, morning, depending where you are, was awesome. I am Rick. Welcome to Learn to Write SciFi. This whole series is to help you become a self-published sci-fi author. Now, we've been going through a lot of stuff. Been talking about, plot, everything. We've crazy, been beaten up, left, side, right. Today, we are going to talk about titles. We're getting closer. I know you still got a lot of time to be writing. I don't really want to get into the editing video just yet. I want to get, what we're going to be going towards for the actual publishing side of things. Just for stuff for you to consider right now. Now, if you don't have a name yet for your universe, don't freak out. I know one of the things that we had talked about before was for you to come up with your own, completely own sci-fi universe. Obviously, a lot of the time, those have some sort of title, Star Wars, Star Trek, then they have a different thing or a different, title afterwards, but that's still the name of the series. If you haven't thought of that yet, I wouldn't freak out. You can definitely still do, go ahead and publish. I would say, even if you don't know the name of your series yet, go ahead and publish the story when it's finished. The reason being is that you can add that later. I mean, one of the things that I've run into myself is that if you're not careful as a author or as wanting to become an author, is that you are going to look for ways, not on purpose, but you're going to find plenty of reasons and plenty of ways to procrastinate and keep you from actually publishing and keep you from actually finishing the story even writing sometimes. So if we get rid of those hindrances to us being creative, then there's nothing really stopping you from being able to keep moving forward. So if you don't have a name of the universe main title, right, don't worry about it. Just figure out name in the story. As far as the story goes, I mean, I picked a couple different titles. I picked, ones that were directly about the story itself. Sometimes they were like the hidden meaning. Sometimes they were just obvious. As far as like the main character obviously was this title, this position, this rank in the military, or my very first short story was The Inquisitor's Justice. And that one was completely about an Inquisitor from the Core Republic, which is in my sci-fi universe, right? So that was a very simple one. The Inquisitor is a detective slash kind of judge, kind of think like Judge Dredd, RoboCop kind of thing, where he's not a robot, but in that, they're a very high-ranking detective, police officer type thing. They go in and investigate things, and they can go ahead and prosecute and judge someone on the spot. So, obviously, justice then plays into the Inquisitor's Justice for that reason. So, I would recommend, as far as the titles go, just think of something that just sounds cool. It comes back to the same kind of thing. People are going to say, well, this is stupid. This isn't very good advice. But the best advice is to not get stuck on every single thing to the point of perfection that you never move forward, right? I mean, yeah, there are plenty of people that, they work really hard on a book for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, and they come up with something that maybe is amazing, but it took you 10 years to publish. Maybe. Because if you go and you don't do the self-publishing route, you could spend a decade or more trying to really make something perfect and have nothing. Granted, on the flip side, yeah, people can say, well, you're just going to write a bunch of crap and you're just going to throw it out on the market. And then, as the indie market itself of self-published authors is going to kind of keep being degraded because there's too many people just pushing, half-done work. Yeah, that is the risk. But if you constantly keep yourself from moving forward, if you keep looking for reasons that you can't finish the project, then why even do the project? All you are doing is doing a hobby then. You're not actually serious about being an author. You're not actually serious about being able to follow your passion, make a living from it, or better. You're just interested in just toying around with some words on paper. And that's fine, but just understand the difference. If you want to make money doing this, you have to have products on the market. That doesn't mean to do it halfway. It doesn't mean to push something out that's not the best. I've been guilty of that. I've gotten really excited and I've pushed products out, and then, I've had feedback and it really would have been better if you would have had a copy editor go over this. I was so excited and so ready to get stuff out there that I just pushed it out anyway because I knew if I don't do something with it, then I might not even keep going through other projects. So since this is your first project, don't freak out about that. Don't freak out about everything being perfect, but just try your best. You're going to make mistakes. That's part of being an entrepreneur, and that's what you are. If you're starting your own business as an author, that's what you are. You are an entrepreneur. So think like that. Understand that most entrepreneurs, they fail many times before they succeed. It's just part of it. We can learn so much from the failures that we forget, and we're so afraid to fail that we don't move forward at all. We learn nothing or very little, and then we're still doing the same thing day in and day out, and then year in and year out. So as far as the titles, just think of something that sounds the coolest thing you could possibly think of that's relative, that is related to the story. Don't come up with something like, the death pit of hell, and then it's about, sunshine and ponies. It has nothing to do with hell or demons or anything. If it isn't, those are two different areas. So if your title doesn't match the story, I wouldn't do that. But at the same time, make it sound exciting. Make it sound something worth picking up. Think about this way. Would you pick the story up if it was in the bookstore? Some people base their decisions on the title or the cover. A lot of people apparently base it off the cover art. We'll get to that. But right now, just think about the title. Just think about, you want to try to get as many of these things in line as possible for you to succeed while still not overreacting and taking 8 years to post. But think of the coolest title you can. And maybe that sounds stupid. Most of this part of this video is about being motivational so you don't quit. That's my main focus. Don't quit. I've been beating up on myself behind the scenes because I've been trying to refigure how I'm going to be moving forward with my projects. And, I'm doubling down on what I'm supposed to be doing, which is to promote my Revelations universe. But I'm also enjoying doing these educational videos to try to help motivate some other people to be able to kind of join me on that journey for themselves, for them to be able to make some money being an author and not just, a couple people. I know there's more, but you know what I mean. So anyway, that's all I kind of got with the titles. I haven't found necessarily the sweet spot yet for myself. Actually, come to think of it, it might sound stupid, but the titles is the one thing that I actually haven't polled people on. I need to do that. Because I usually try to ask people, I poll them like crazy. Like as soon as I know they finish one of my stories, I ask them a bunch of questions. And I'm trying to be careful to not pick a cheesy title. I think I've probably accidentally done that with a couple of the stories that I've published. But I think some others have been spot on. I think they're very well done. But that takes a little bit of practice. And I'm not perfect. I'm still learning too. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We are, I believe, on day 20 now of the 30-day challenge. We have 10 days left, which is really awesome that it's come this far in such a short amount of time. I'm going to be, as far as you guys know, so you guys know, the upcoming topics, we've got cover art, my recommendation for who you should use to be able to get your cover art made. They're affordable and quick. I'll probably do a tutorial video if people need it on how to do Amazon Kindle to upload and everything. And then a couple other things like reviewing, and then also getting a couple people to read. And then we'll talk a little bit about pricing. So there's 5 really good topics, and there's some other things that I'm working on too, like what to do with bad comments and a couple other things and whatnot. All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to follow us on Facebook, it is Learn to Write Sci-Fi. And if you want to follow us on YouTube, it is White Light Media. Thank you guys. See you all tomorrow.